Do you like games that function as intended only a fraction of the time? Do you like games with a small but loyal community? How about a game whose mentioned small and loyal community is almost entirely negative IQ, mentally stunted megalomaniacs? If you answered yes to that last question, what the fuck? Mortal Online 2 is a hardcore sandbox MMORPG with full loot, always-on PvP, territory control, classless character building, an expansive crafting system, and much more. The world of Knave is quite expansive, so join me on this fresh journey as I make my first new character in quite a while, and get started where every new player does, on Haven. This is the beginning of our Mortal Online 2 Zero to Hero. What's up, guys? Welcome to something of a Mortal Online 2 Zero to Hero, if you will. It's just going to kind of be a new character playthrough. I've got 3 accounts and 5 characters and decided I wanted a new footy, which is slang for foot fighter for anyone who doesn't know Mortal. And I made the character, played about 10 minutes into Haven, just speedrunning through it. And out of nowhere, I was like, maybe I'll make like a little playthrough video. So that's what we're going to do. So somehow I actually snagged the character name Nope, which is pretty dope. We're going to delete him and start over. If this name gets sniped in the next 2 minutes, I am going to lose my shit. So we're going to go with a custom build here. For anyone who's new to Mortal, your build matters. So from character creation, the moment you start creating your character, it matters. So we're going to be a male, Thursar, and we're going to go Callard. Callard hits the hardest, is the tallest, the biggest, stupidest meathead Thursar you can make. Frontline fighter, right? We're going to make sure we're all Callard on the right side. Fun fact about the lore, the left side is not possible to change. Thursars exist in Mortal because Rysars essentially did an adult hug against human women's will, and Thursars are the crossbred result of humans and Rysars mating. So you can only choose from the human clades on the right. So anyways, we're Rysar and Callard. Now, this is where things really start to matter. Your age means a lot. So if you look here on the left, pay attention to the statistics on the left. I'm just realizing now you can't see my cursor. Let me see if I can fix that. You see it now? Perfect. Pay attention to these statistics on the left. As I go up and down in age, see how they're changing? Right? Your age determines your maximum and minimum for all of these attributes, right? Now, the meta, the builds in this game are extremely solved. The meta is 30 for a Thursar. If you're going a human, it's usually 30. There's reason to go higher on like a Thursar or human for mages if you need to. Velas are 31. Now you'll notice when I go to 31, some stuff changes here in a negative way. However, Velas have the ability to have a passive that undoes negative effects due to age. So if being 31 is actually beneficial to them. We are going to go max height, as high as we can. And the rest doesn't matter because you can change this at will. So we're going to just dump it into dexterity to get a little extra running speed when we get into Haven. All right, let's go ahead and... Oh, the next important thing is your weight. See, we got a big boy, skinny boy here. You'll notice again that the attributes change as weight changes, which is kind of cool. So for this build, we're going stout. Back in the day, it used to be beneficial to be the highest percentage of your weight. Now, it doesn't matter. In fact, I think it's even better to be lower because your kg is lower for horses. Sometimes it bugs out, though, and like if I go at 110, it'll put me fit until I eat food. So I'm just going to go to 12 to be safe. Everything else is just cosmetic. Let's see here. I'm just going to... All right. That's everything. Now the name? Nope. This is a fucking dime of a name. I cannot believe I sniped this name. Created. All right, let's enter Haven for the first time, guys. Let's get to it. So we're going to start the tutorial here. First thing we're going to do is go to the target dummies, training dummies, whatever. It's going to teach us about combat. Look at this guy go. Carry Leon. Look at him go. All right, so we're going to hit the training dummy 3 times. I'm just going to spam overheads. Bing, bing, bang. It wants us to charge. We got to hit the dummy with all the attacks. And we're done. Okay, block up, down, left, right. Beautiful. Let's go to the combat tutor and go smack him around a little bit. What do you guys think? Yeah, that's right. Go fuck yourself. All right, on to the graveyard. All right, L to open our skill window. All right, so here's what I like to do. Another thing. Resting, this is all preference. All of it is preference. And this is a lot of shit. We're going to go over this in another episode. I like to put resting on control 2. And then I like alt 1, 2, 3 to be pet, follow, stay, bag in that order. Look at these people here in the tutorial. The game is so alive. All right, so we're going to learn about riposting here. Let's aggro one of these. Now, all animations have a corresponding direction, right? So this zombie is attacking me from above. So I'm going to block up, right? The zombie is now attacking me from the left. Cool. Now, whenever you parry something, you do not have to charge your attack to get full damage. I tapped the button, I just did full damage. Right? Just like that. See, that's a counter or a riposte. You catch a parry. This works in PvP as well. Bink. Just like that. All right, now I know the next step of the tutorial is to grab heads, so I'm going to go ahead and grab the 3 heads now, just to save some time. Zombies are easy. Spam them down like 2-3 hits, parry, riposte, keep it going. All right, we got the 3 heads we need. Come over here. Open the thing, buy something from the vendor. Let's grab 50 bandages, because those are going to be important to level our anatomy. And as a Thursar, we don't believe in self-defense, or we don't believe in blocking. We just attack through everything and heal later.
Welcome back anytime.
Okay. Right-click an item to equip it. Very good tutorial. We're going to right-click the torch. Right-click the torch. Oh, look at that. Very cool. Put our sword back on. Let's go find some pigs, shall we? Right now, what we're doing... Oh, another thing. Intelligence, getting rid of that. Don't want it. Psych, we're going to lock for now. We're going to let Strength, Dex, and Constitution build up to their maximums. All right. This is, by the way, this is not really like a tutorial. I'm going to be casually just glossing over random shit that might be super important. This is just, it's not really a tutorial. I'm just mentioning it as we go, right? I've played this game for about 3,000 hours, which I can't believe I just said out loud. So, yeah. I just cut the pig in half. Holy dumb fuck. We're going to loot the pig. We're going to right-click it and butcher it. We just turned a lot of pig into a little pig. Wonderful. Let's go to the hunter's camp. All right. The ranger will sell you a spare bow and some arrows. Yeah, he will. Yeah, he fucking will. We're going to sell everything to him. We're going to take a bow, and let's just take 10 arrows. Okay. Going to equip the arrows. You can have up to 50 arrows in your quiver at a time. And then we're also going to equip the bow. Now, one thing we can do, which is cool, is we can hotkey weapons. So I could put like 2 and 1, like that, right? So now if I hit the 1 key, I switch to my sword. Hit the 2 key, switch to my bow, right? This also works while it's drawn, like that. Very cool. All right. Going to shoot all 3 of these. Right in the tits. Aim a little higher. Right in the tits. Aim a little higher. Right in the tits. Gotta love it. Moving on. Oh, it does not want me to butcher this yet. I think it's going to teach me about the butchery table, if I'm not mistaken. Back to what we were doing. Let's go to the ranger camp. And just as I suspected, it wants us to use the butcher table. So we're going to open that up. Drop that carcass in there and hold the butcher. Very nice. Very nice. All right. We're going to go to the cooking station. Just teaching us random shit. Look, we're just getting through it, okay? I'll probably do professions and skills, you know, later down the line, but this is mostly going to be a progression series. All right, let's go to the crafting tables. All right, so we're going to learn how to craft. So weapon crafting. Weapon crafting is... All crafting in this game is super fucking awesome. It's very bare bones here because I don't have any skills, but you can read books that give you all sorts of recipes. There's different handles, heads for every single weapon type, different types of armor. You can make all types of weapons and armor out of different materials, whether it's metals, stones, woods, animal carapace, tons of stuff. It's really cool. Anyways, So we are going to make a sword here. This sword is going to be absolute dog shit. Okay. What's up, big dog?
A few moments later.
Got him. Good fight. Alright, anyways. What were we talking about? Oh, right click an item. Okay. There we go. We did it. Alright, let's go get some malice fruit. Alright. Book vendor. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and get this book. Crafting. This is exactly what I was talking about, by the way. The crafting crafting books. So right now, crafting short blade heads. If I learn this, it will start to level me up in the short blade crafting skill. But I'm going to go ahead and take that out because I'm going to use other books later. So books are passive. They work when you're logged out as well, and they just tick until they reach a certain level in that skill, and then they disappear. So as you start a new character and as you go through your journey and you're working on your build, this is especially important with professions, non-combat profession stuff. Always pop a book before you log out. Let's go ahead and grab some granum. We're going to do everything with the torch because I don't want to burn durability on my starter sword. Now, mining is cool. Everything that you do in this game, profession-wise, gathering-wise, works in lores. So you see material lore here, and we've got all of these different types of lores. Animal materials, mammal skin, fur, leather, all the different types. In order to craft effectively with something, you need to know a high level of its crafting recipe. And then if you want to craft it out of quality leather, you need a high quality leather lore. You gather lore by interacting with and gathering that material. For example, right now I just got petrology, igneous rock, granum lore because I mined some granum. The systems in this game are exceedingly convoluted, esoteric, and poorly described. You know, if this series actually takes off and anybody cares, I'll do tutorials, like actual tutorials. Oh no, my weapon broke. I'll do actual tutorials if somebody wants. There's tons out there, but it's a very complex and esoteric game. That broke as well. Well, fuck me, dude. All right, I guess I'm burning my starter sword. All right, we got what we needed. We need to pick some niter, which is up here. Hit another bandy. Something I may not have explained already, and we'll break down skills a little bit later, as I said, but as you play, it's very much like RuneScape. You learn skills as you use them. For example, anatomy here is the higher level, up to 100, that you have, the more amount of health you recover when bandaging. So how do you level anatomy? Well, you can use a book like we touched on a minute ago, but also by using bandages, you level anatomy. Look here at the chat log. Applied bandage, you bandaged yourself for 14 HP. Anatomy has increased to 18. Anyways, let's pick up some niter, shall we? This guy pick it all up. How many people are playing this fucking game right now, by the way? This is a dead game. Why are people in my tutorial zone? 1,000 people online. Holy dumb fuck. Oh, here we go. All right. On to the extraction Naterus. Gonna start learning about extraction. I don't really care about any of this. Maybe I'll do it later on, but we're gonna get through it, boys. We're gonna get through it. Let's find the taming tutor. Now, taming is cool. This is a recent change. Back in the day, see here, domestication, animal care, taming, creature control, all of this. You needed to put points into this, taking out of your total points in order to tame horses. You needed 31 points to get any horse in the game and higher to tame other animals. There's tons of tameable animals in the game. They made a fantastic change where horses require 0 taming. How great is that? Because everybody needs a horse, right? You want to spec into taming, you can get all the fancy shit, but you need a horse, don't worry about it. You're covered. Beautiful. P opens the pets menu. You can do things like abandon it, rename it, or transfer it to another player. You can set if you want its level to increase or not. You can see how many pet points you're using out of your available. Pets do cost pet points to control. We're going to rename him. Since we're Nope, we're going to rename him Yep. That seems pretty fitting. There we go. And we're going to put his health bar here next to mine so we can keep an eye on him. Alrighty. All right, we've arrived at the stable. It's going to teach us how to stable a pet. We're going to go ahead and stable Yep. I'm going to go ahead and unstable him right away because I want to use him. Now let's head into the town proper. Now, first thing you want to do when you come to this town in Haven, forget about the Taskmaster. We're going to go to him later. Very first thing you need to do. Very important. First thing, if you are new to this game, you will die fighting mobs. You are going to die. So, come here, go to the priest, and hold R to set priest as home. You set this priest as your home. If you die, you can home teleport your ghost here. Okay? Next, tutors. Now, if you want to be a mage, don't be a mage on a Thursar. That's stupid. But if you want to be a mage, magic tutor right here. Combat tutor, absolutely important. 100% important. If you want to do melee or range, you select. Say, what do you want to learn about? Attacking. Okay, I want to learn different weapon skills. Now, this build for me is going to be swords. I am most familiar with swords. I might do some axes later, maybe even spears, but I'm going to do swords. So I'm going to click that. You hear a little chime in the background. That means I just got some sword XP. Come down here. We now have 16 in swords. It's actually trained to 25, but because this is a nested skill underneath melee combat, it's blocked by melee combat. So as this levels, this will level as well. All right. We are good. Now, anatomy tutor. Huge anatomy. I told you guys earlier that we need to have anatomy for bandage using. Bang. Now we have more of that. Crafting tutor. You can go to the crafting tutor and learn points about any sort of crafting you want to do. Crafting is awesome and super, super involved in this game. I don't care for it. I'm not going to do it. We're going to learn cooking. I mean, maybe I'll do crafting later if you guys like really want me to, but not typically my cup of tea. We're going to bandage up here, and then we're going to go back to the tutorial and go to the Taskmaster. And here we are at the Taskmaster. Now, tasks are a somewhat newer feature to the game, maybe 6, 7, 8 months old. This game is a sandbox game. It is very much in the realm of make your own fun, make your own content, but people are troglodytes and cannot cope with not being handheld, and everyone was complaining they didn't know what to do. So, not me, by the way. They created Taskmasters. So these are little mini quests to kill something, gather something, hunt something, or fish something, or hunt a player. There's a bounty hunting guy as well. In the tutorial, I believe we only have soldier and hunter. But yeah, you talk to them, and here's all the different tasks that you can do. These do reset on an hourly basis. Some of them are always the same mob with varying quantities. Some of them cycle through what mob it is. There's also a daily task when you get out onto the mainland, which is worth a lot of renown and a lot of XP. But the only thing we can do right now is Fresh Walking Dead. So we're going to go ahead and do that. When you accept a task, it gives you a little task assignment here in your inventory, and it tells you what you need to kill and how many you've done. So, let's talk to... Oh, that's not a banker. Let's talk to the banker. Let's drop off all this garbage nonsense, poo-poo stuff. Bang, 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 bang. Get rid of all that. Get rid of the bow, too. I don't need it. Let's roll out. Here we are. We're going to use the stuff we've learned to quickly kill these guys. Hit them with the old overheads. Quick parry. Riposte. Dead. Make sure to grab the head and the money. Whoops. Money, beautiful. It does not look like the general is up. Unfortunate. Usually when the general's up, if you kill him, you get like a gold or so off of his body. Unfortunately, someone already killed him. Maybe he'll respawn while we're standing here. Who knows? I think he's on like a 15-minute timer. This is a good opportunity to talk about mobs, spawns, bosses, stuff like this. This entire world whether you're in Haven or on the mainland. The entire world of Mortal Online 2 is a single global server, single instance with no loading screens, unless you're like teleporting somewhere as a ghost. No loading screens, okay? You've got everything is shared, everything, even bosses. So every boss, even dungeon bosses, are open world bosses. Bosses that respawn on a 1 hour timer. If you want to kill them, you need to wait until they're up. If no one's killed them in an hour or more, then you can fight them. But because it's a single open instance, if you fight your way all the way to an end of a dungeon, and you're in the boss room fighting, and somebody's been tailing you this entire time, let's say you and 3 of your buddies go down, fight your way through, and you fight the boss, and a group of 3 or 4 guys have been tailing you the whole time, they'll be waiting for you right outside the dungeon door, right outside the boss door. And as soon as you're done with the boss, they're going to come in, and they're going to clean up and take everything. It's a very interesting game. It's a very dynamic, interesting game. Go back to the Taskmaster, and it will automatically complete our task. How great is that? All right, now what it wants us to do is get 20 soldier renown. Here are the breakpoints for renown at the bottom. And here are the renown rewards. Or sorry, renown requirements. Once you have 10, you can do this. 25, you can do this. 50, you can do this, etc. Here are the rewards you get. 10 XP, 10 renown, 36 XP, 20 renown, 60 XP, 20 renown, etc., all the way down. Here's how much money you'll get for doing it. These right here are silver aegises. These are like a completion token that you get when completing a task. And completing a task and getting the completion token leads to a number of different things. You could use those completion tokens to get special weapons from the Taskmasters. You can use them to buy ability books for combat abilities from the Taskmasters, etc. So next up is Scoundrels. So that is what we are going to do next. Scoundrels are cool because they actually fight back. So that is going to be our next step. A couple of Scoundrel tasks. Man, there's a lot of fucking people in Haven, dude. If these Scoundrels are killed, I'm ending it all. I'm committing as soon as possible in Minecraft. There's so many people, dude. I thought this game was dead. I was partially making this series to bring players to the game. Apparently, there's too many of us. Don't buy the game. There's too many people. Don't do it. These guys are all melee. It's very simple. Same thing, exact same thing as the zombies, but instead they're swinging swords at you, and when you parry, you can riposte. Now I'm a Thursar. I've got pretty good. Defenses. Okay, I'm fighting 3 now. I'm gonna shut the fuck up and focus real fast. Okay, now, anyways, what I was saying was, you could do the same thing as the zombies. Just spam them down, and then when they decide to swing, just parry. Now, obviously, they're a lot faster than zombies, and they'll swing their swords a lot faster. But it's nothing you can't handle. All right, and there we have it. Now, as I bandage, did this happen yet? It did not happen yet. Okay, we're going to talk about clade gifts here in a minute. Don't worry about it yet. Don't worry about it. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get back to town. And here we are, and we are going to turn in. What? Oh my goodness, I never took the task. Oh boy, fuck.
6 hours later.
Okay, now we're completed. Beautiful. Now, from here, we can continue climbing up this way, which we will do at some point, because, fun fact, you have to hit level 5 minimum to leave Haven. We're going to talk about clade levels in just a second, because I just hit clade level 1. But what the tutorial wants us to do first is to find the hunting taskmaster, to do some animal hunting tasks. That's what we're going to do next. But before we do that, let's take a look. Hit C to open our character sheet. And look at our clade gifts here. So this is the initial skill tree for Mortal Online 2. Every race's skill tree is different. You start from the 3 center nodes and they branch outwards, like so. Each one is, well, some are passive, some are active, some are toggleable. You'll find things like 10 skills in endurance, extra constitution, extra max constitution, an adrenaline buff, maximum health and constitution, right? Max or more size, more damage bonus, etc. Axis skill, sword skill, blah blah blah. Now this gets you from clade level 1 to 20, which takes around 50,000 glory, which is the experience of the game, right? 50,000 sounds like a lot when you look at the chat window and realize I got 72 glory for that. However, there is much, much more glory to be gained per hour out on the mainland, which is why we're going to leave here as soon as we hit clade level 5. That being said, though, 50,000-ish gets you to level 20. Now, avert your eyes, because I'm about to show you something very scary. This is the mastery tree. After you hit level 20, you start gaining additional points in mastery. And all of these little stars and all of these trees are mastery. These do crazy things, like give you raw stats, like raw constitution and dexterity and strength. They do other crazy things, like give you extra health, health regen, mana damage resistance. They give you strength. You can hit harder, melee damage bonus, pierce damage, slash damage. What else? They make you run faster. They make you, carry more armor, whatever. Carry more inventory. Doesn't matter. This is end game progression, right? Right now we're focusing on 1 to 20, or 0 to 20 technically. So let's pick our first point. Now, what I want to do for my build is I want to max out my damage as fast as possible. All of my damage abilities are over here on this side of the tree. So I would probably start here, get levels in my aggressive stance, right? Increase my maximum adrenaline, and start building up my strength, my damage bonus, etc. However, there is one thing that we want before we do that. Two things, actually. One of them is adamant. This passively reduces all incoming physical damage by 10%. And we want lifesteal. This is a buff that you can toggle to convert the damage you deal, a percentage of it, 25% to be exact, of the damage you deal into your own health. This is why Thursars are the most common foot fighter in the game. They have the most self-sustain. They have high health, high damage, decent stamina, but most importantly, they can keep themselves alive for a long time. Voice cracked. I'm turning 30 next month, by the way. Outside of that, another really good one here is Stiganthrope on the opposite end of the tree. Stiganthrope gives you an extra health every 3 seconds, passively, even in combat. And then your passive regeneration is doubled. So at max passive regeneration plus Stiganthrope, you're getting 30 to 40 health a minute just for standing around. Mid-fight. Thursars are fucking broken. Please don't nerf them. 10 out of 10, my favorite race. So, I want lifesteal and adamant first. Take less damage, be able to heal myself. So I'm going to start in Tenacious. Once I get to Clade level 4, because 1, 2, 3, 4, then I'm going to start getting all my damage and everything else. So let's start here. And there we go. Now, what were we talking about? Hunting Taskmaster. Off we go. As I was riding, I was just thinking, one thing I forgot to do is sell all my loot, so we're going to do that when we get to the encampment. But also, we're not wearing any armor right now. We're naked. I don't recommend you do this. Buy armor. I just do it because I'm lazy and I have 3,000 hours, so I don't care, and I know a scoundrel can't kill me. That being said, though, there is a very important stat that we're going to look at really quick. That is under character sheet statistics, and that is your armor weight. This is your armor weight that you have on you out of your maximum. 5 kg is nothing. Steel sets are at least 22 to 23 kg. How do we raise this? Great question. Glad you asked. Hit L, open your action skills. Let's collapse all these, and we are going to go to combat maneuvering, and here we have armor training and heavy armor training. There's 2 tiers, okay? Now, by leveling combat maneuvering, which happens passively just by fighting and stuff like that, we then, at level 50 combat maneuvering, anytime we are wearing any armor at all, we will be passively leveling armor training. At 50 armor training, we'll start passively leveling heavy armor training. The higher these are, the more your max armor weight is. So I'm going to keep playing. We're going to finish the tutorial. Then I'm going to buy a set of armor. And if I have to, I will pop the book for combat maneuvering to get it to 50. Then we're going to pop the book for armor training and continue to play. And through doing that, we will naturally level our armor training. Anyways, enough yapping. What the fuck are we doing here? Okay. We're at the Hunting Taskmaster. It wants us to get some tasks. But first...
See what I have for you.
Sell that. I cannot get any armor here, so we won't worry about that just yet. Can we actually? I don't think we can. Okay, so Taskmaster hunting, bush pigs, fantastic. Now, it wants us to get 50 hunter renown. I will tell you now, I've done this many times. The easiest way to do it, bush pigs are literally right here. Like, I'm not joking, like right here. And when I say right here, I might have lied. Where the fuck are the bush pigs? There they are. Right? Yeah, right here. Okay, anyways. The fastest way to get 50 renown is just spam this task. Just kill bush pigs. The young ones count as well. If you're a Thursar like me, you should be able to one-shot them. I fucking lied. I have no melee damage bonus. Anyways. If you want the 50 renown, you come over here, get back on the horse, turn it in, take it again, kill more bush pigs, and repeat. If I'm not mistaken, this is the end of the tutorial. Yep, tutorial end. Fantastic. All right, now we are on to... We're left to our own devices at this point. So, real quick, sell everything, condense all of our money. Now, oh, and we hit another Clade level. Isn't that great? Let's go ahead and take this for +3 con because it's going to unlock the next 2 abilities we want. Great. Now, minimum level to leave Haven is 5. Okay? Maximum is 8 of 20. So what are we going to do to get to level 5? Well, it's quite simple, my friends. First, we're going to take this money and we're going to go buy armor. And probably a better sword. The best sword in Haven. You know what? Scratch that. We are not going to buy a new sword. The reason we're not going to buy a new sword is because the Soldier Taskmaster for 2 or 3 of the Silver Aegis tokens will give you a 2-handed flame blade, which is the best 2-handed sword in the tutorial zone in Haven. Now, that being said, how are we going to power level to 5? It's quite simple. We are going to do Tri-Brats, or Scoundrels, whichever one you want. Tri-Brats are a bit more out of the way, but they're easy, they don't do any damage, and they give you more glory per turn-in. So let's head back to the Soldier Taskmaster, and I'll meet you guys over there, and we'll talk more about it. All right, so here we are at the Taskmaster. Here's the task board. Now, if we want to do Tri-Brats, we're going to have to farm out a few more tasks, right? The fastest and easiest with the best return is Scoundrels. Right now, we will get 40 renown, because I don't know if I mentioned this before, but if you quick execute the task and come back fast, you get double rewards. So this 36 becomes 72, 20 becomes 40. So we get 40 renown. How much do we need for Tri-Brats? 75. So we would have to do Scoundrels twice, because we have 30, plus the 40 is 70. We do it one more time. We'd have, however the fuck many that is, right? And then we would do Tri-Brats all the way to level 5, and then we're getting the hell out of here. I am going to spam 2 of these Scoundrel tasks back to back, and I will return to you guys here momentarily when that is done, and we will take our first Tri-Brat task. And we are back. Go ahead and turn in, claim rewards, and now we can do Tri-Brats. Now, a couple things have happened while I was doing those Scoundrel tasks real quick. Number one, I grabbed some armor from the armor vendor. So you see me wearing some of it. I can't wear all of it yet because you cannot ride a horse if you're over your maximum armor weight. So as my strength goes up, my armor weight will go up. So I can actually start to wear more of this now. I can go ahead and put the helmet on. How much leeway do I have here? I might be able to put the whole set on now, actually, that my strength is increased. Yeah, I can. All right, sweet. So, in addition to that, what's going on? I popped the book for combat maneuvering. This is passively leveling my combat maneuvering. You can see here it just leveled to 40. Once it is 50, we will automatically unlock armor training, and I have the armor training book sitting here ready to go. Also, you'll notice that I have the flame blade now that I bought from the Taskmaster just because I've been getting the Silver Aegises from doing the tasks. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab our first Tri-Brat task. We'll accept it. And then go ahead and follow along. I'm going to speed it up so you can see the path to the Tri-Brats, and we will talk more once we're there. as we ride up to the end here, the tribe rats are just through that final valley there. I also forgot to mention that while doing the scoundrels, I did hit Clade level 3, which gives us another point. So I just wanted to get this on camera. I'm going to grab adamant, and then lifesteal is next. So now with adamant, we passively reduce all incoming physical damage by 10%, which is super awesome. And here we are, the Tribe Rat Cave. Doesn't look like anybody else is here, which is nice. So the Tribe Rat tasks in Haven are always 3 Tribe Rats, and there's always 3 outside. If people are here when you do this, and the 3 outside are being camped, you have to go into the cave to get more. Let's go ahead and kill these. They only attack left or right. They don't do a whole lot of damage. And with the Flame Blade, I do a good deal of damage, so I'm just going to go ahead and spam through them and worry about healing later. A handle hit. Ugh, handle hit. Come on. Sometimes you gotta look straight down because they stand really close to you. So if you want to actually hit them with the blade and not the handle, you gotta look straight down. And we're done. Sweet. So now, how are we gonna get to Clade level 5? Well, just like I said before, we are going to just spam this task. We're gonna come here, the path I showed you, kill the 3, get back on the horse, ride the path in reverse, turn it in, rinse and repeat back and forth until we're Clade level 5. Should only take 10 to 15 minutes. As long as you don't get lost and there's nobody farming the outside rats. Maybe 20 on a bad day. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be riding back and forth, getting this done until we are level 5. And once we are level 5, we will be leaving Haven. Now, it should be noted that if this is actually your first time playing the game, take your time in Haven. Do the hunting taskmaster tasks until you get 300 renown. Do the soldier tasks until you get 300 renown. Try the Haven bosses. There's a lot to learn in Haven. Level your skills. We got a lot of skills that we're going to talk about in the next episode. Level your skills, read books, get your combat abilities, get a feel for the game. Haven is safe. Even if when you die, you drop everything, but there's no criminal actions on Haven. So no one can loot your stuff. You can go back and you can take it. So if this is your first time playing the game, you don't have to leave as soon as you hit level 5. You can get all the way to level 8 and really experience what the tutorial zone has to offer. I've been playing this game far too long to find any of this interesting, though, so I'm going to be leaving as soon as possible. We're going to be talking about where we're going to go. I'm going to tell you about the different towns, what's the benefits. We're going to get into some geopolitical stuff, what alliances and guilds run each area in each major city. And yeah, we're going to talk about a lot before we leave. And then in the next episode, we will start our journey on the mainland with the full loot PvP. But anyways, I will see you guys once I hit Clade 5. Just checking in here real quick. I'm about to go do another task, but as you can see, I just hit Clade level 4. So just for the sake of getting it on camera, we're going to go to Clade Gifts and we're going to pick up Lifesteal. Now, since Lifesteal is a toggleable buff, like you can proc it, you can actually activate it, you can click and drag it from this menu onto your bar. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on 2. And now whenever I hit 2, as long as Lifesteal is off cooldown, it will run Lifesteal so that as I'm doing damage, it will heal me in return for 25%. Like I said, we're only getting to level 5 here in Haven, but level 5 is going to be aggressive here. And we're going to talk about aggressive stance, defensive stance, and what all these things mean in episode 2. But then we're going to start getting all of our size and damage bonus, everything like that. All right, and we just turned in our last task. And we should see here in a moment. Any second. Clade level 5. Beautiful. So at this point, we are going to get ready to leave. That being said, again, I can't stress enough, if you are actually a new player and you want to follow along, take your time. Some of these videos as we go might take me a little while to get out anyway, because the game does turn into a bit of a grind once you're on the mainland. So you're not going to fall behind if you want to follow my playthrough. Take your time. Get to Clade level 8. Do the bosses on Haven. Talk to people. Do some crafting. Do some gathering. Enjoy what the safe zone has to offer you. In the meantime, real quick, Clade Gift, we want all of these. So we're going to activate the next node, which is Aggressive. All right, so one thing to note, when you leave Haven, you can only take what you are wearing and 10 gold worth of stuff on top of that. So we're going to break that down when we get to the statue to leave Haven. I'm actually going to take this armor training book plus whatever gold I can bring with me. Silver Aegises are soulbound, so they'll come with you no matter what. As well as your starter sword with a 250 durability, that is soulbound as well. Everything else is for forfeit. Your pet will come as well. So what I like to do is just as much money as I can, plus any books that I want to keep. All right. So let's leave Haven, shall we? If we take a look at the map, you can actually see all the way down here. Where are we? I'm lost. There we go. All the way down here is where we want to go to leave Haven. So I am going to head that way now. I'm going to speed it up so you can follow along when you're ready to leave Haven. And I will see you guys there in a moment. All right, and here we have arrived at the fishing village. Fishing's another thing I haven't mentioned yet. Fishing in this game is outrageously deep of a system. You have different lines, different baits, different hook sizes. You can fish at different depths. There's different water types. It's quite a lot. Engage in fishing as well at some point. We might do a fishing episode one day. Who knows? All right, so here we are. We can leave Haven when we're ready. So let's quickly talk about what leaving Haven actually entails, right, and traveling to Myrland. So first, again, you can only take what's equipped to you and what is soulbound. Then 10 gold worth of other stuff. So these are soulbound. Your starter sword and your silver aegises are soulbound. We're going to lose the bandages and the dial. I want to bring this stuff with me. So we're going to bring the book and then whatever gold value we can on top of that. And then we'll just have our armor and our pet with us. So, you're ready to travel to Myrland. Fantastic, congratulations. Let's talk about geopolitics, everybody's favorite topic. Cue the Nicholas J. Fuentes. All right, so there are a number of cities in the game, okay? The ones that you can spawn at specifically are blue cities. For those of you familiar with PvP games like Ultima, there are blue and red zones, if you will. Blue zones are guarded. PvP is always on in Mortal Online 2, and you can attack anyone, anywhere, at any time for any reason. But in blue cities, there are guards that will smack the shit out of you for doing it. And if you try and loot another player's bag after somebody kills them, you go criminal, and again, a guard will smack the shit out of you. There are cities outside of the ones listed in this list here that are red cities. Those are cities that are unguarded, free-for-all PvP in the city, like Kranesh, Galkor, Jungle Camp, etc. Let's talk about these cities. Fabrinum. As I mentioned earlier, Fabrinum is the mainland version of Nave. The surrounding area is pretty much the same. The city is exactly the same. Fabrinum is more or less kind of the dueling capital of the world. If you're a footy and you want to learn PvP one-on-one, there's a duel pit in the middle in the courtyard. People are always there dueling. Very central to the map. Who runs Fabrinum? Well, one of the major guilds near Fabrinum is Odinseed. Odinseed is one of the largest guilds. Shout out Barados, King Barados, as it were. They're one of the largest active guilds in the game. They love to bring the Zerg. They're okay, you know. They're all right. But anyways, yeah, you're gonna have to contest with them or join them, really, if you go to Fabrinum. Shout out Azog. Okay. Hilspelia, far to the north in the mountains. This is a really inconvenient place to be. Takes 15 fucking minutes just to ride into and out of the town because it's on top of a mountain. Terrible. Don't recommend. Don't start in Hilspelia. Tindrum. Tindrum is the Tindremic capital of the continent of Myrland. It is situated in the northeast, southwest of Hispelia. It's the northeast, massive city, kind of Bob town. Now, when I say Bob, it's kind of like a slang in Mortal for noob. It's Bob town. There is a sewer in the city that is PvP safe. Like you can safely PvP without the guards, and you can task down there. So there's a great way to stay in the city limits and still get some content, get some tasking, and get some PvP with relative low risk. So not a bad choice for fresh players. In Tindrum, you're going to be competing with who's running around in Tindrum. Pokemon is a guild that runs around up there. Of course, you've got the Coalition, the largest alliance in the game. We're going to talk about them in just a minute when we talk about Meduli. Tindrum is a good choice for noobs. Speak of the devil, Meduli. The sands of Meduli, south of Tindrum, situated on the western coast of the map. It is a port city. And it is toxic and terrible, and I hate it. If you are not a mounted build, a mounted archer, mounted mage, mounted combat, you are likely to be ganked over and over again by the Coalition, and the only way to avoid that is to join the Coalition. The Coalition is the largest alliance in the game, led typically by Kodo. Other guilds of note in the Coalition are Companions. You've got Unbroken, UBG. You've got, I believe, Mythic is now Coalition aligned. They're big, man, and they zerg and they bring numbers. They're not very good. They're not the best players, but they are a lot. And 10 bad players can kill a couple of good players if they coordinate and put their tiny little brain cells together. Meduli is a decent choice for noobs because the graveyard in Meduli is the only guarded graveyard in the entire game. So if you want to farm up bone tissue and you know, farm up some wealth over there, Meduli's not a bad choice. Next is Vada. Vada is right smack dab in the middle of the map, just right in the middle. This is an okay town. Vada's got some good wildlife, some good bandit camps nearby. It's got one of the dungeons Undercroft nearby. But when you roam around Vada and the Central Steppe, you are going to have to contest with some of the best players in the game, namely Omerta. If you go south of Vada, you are going to run into Omerta. There's a nightmare village down there. We're talking top tier, high level PvPers. Not a great spot for a noob. Bhakti. Bhakti is pretty much Vada, kind of moved around a little bit, and to the south, close to the jungle. Guilds that'll be trolling around Bhakti. You've got Unbroken, a lot of Coalition guilds. Bhakti's okay. I will say that Bhakti bandits are a fantastic early clade farm. Quick respawns, big camps of bandits, tasks are always available. Bhakti's not a bad choice. Moki. Moki is northeast of Bhakti. It is another Vada clone. Vada, Moki, and Bhakti look the same with different configurations of buildings. They feel the same. Moki's another fantastic starting area for bandit tasks. It's very central. It is south of the eastern steppe, I believe. So Moki's not a bad choice if you are new to the game. Morin Kerr, also colloquially known, I don't know how to pronounce that, Morin Kerr or MK. MK is my favorite. That's where we're going to be going, most likely. I haven't decided yet as I'm talking. MK is kind of a veteran town, though. It is situated in the northeast. Who do you have to contest with in the northeast? Well, you've got the Rat Alliance, very strong alliance. Carni Mata is up there in GK, just north of MK. Shout out Antheus. Battle Brothers and Wolfsight are up there. Shout out Wolfsight. Shout out Leliana. So there are more vets on the eastern coast of the game than there are on the western coast. Morin Kerr has a sewer. It is another city with a sewer inside. So it's great for some daily tasks, for some tasking. It's got the valley to the east that gives a lot of bandits, a lot of gathering tasks, a lot of hunting tasks. You can get dire wolves down there. Morin Kerr is a fantastic starting area. If this is your very first character ever, I don't typically recommend it, but it's my personal favorite blue city in the game. Toxai. Toxai is the eastern port town of Myrland, exactly opposite all the way to the east of Meduli. It is a beautiful little like fishing village. Shivras come from there in their Shiva caves. It's really cool. You see this island here with the lighthouse in the middle. Super cool town. Not a lot to do, and to get in and out of Toxai, you have to ride up a mountain that takes 5.5 fucking minutes. Very cool. If you want to be a fisher, go for it. Otherwise, avoid probably for your first character. Very close to MK though. 15-minute ride from MK. And that's everything. So I've been talking for a while. This video is going to be like fucking hour long. Where do I want to go? Where do I want to go? It really just depends on what guild I want to be in. I have friends in a lot of different guilds. I'm not sure. I'm probably going to go Myrland. I think I'm going to go Myrland. It's my favorite town. We'll explore around the map as the series progresses, but we're going to go Myrland. All right, so we want to move items into the box that we want to bring with us. So first things first, we're bringing our book, which is 50 silver. So that means that I can bring 9 gold and an additional 50 silver. 9 gold and 50 silver. We now are 10 out of 10 gold. Remember, we will bring everything we're wearing and our pet and our soulbound items down here. So let's travel to Myrland. And here we are. We have officially arrived on the mainland. Now, you will notice that my horse is yellow now instead of blue on the target reticle thing. That is because every new character is marked as a fledgling. I am probably going to stay fledgling, even though I do not have to be. Fledgling is a good way to talk your way out of sticky situations, and as we are leveling, we will find ourselves in sticky situations with players that want to kill us. Now, we're going to end the episode here, but before I do, I just wanted to kind of frame up the significance of coming to the mainland. On the mainland, PvP is always on all of the time, okay? So anyone can attack you at any time. When you die, you drop everything. The only things you don't drop are trinkets and your cape. And anything soulbound, like your starter sword and this stuff, right? Everything we brought with us is actually in the bank, by the way. So we'll go over here to the bank. There's the stuff we brought with us. So we are now on the mainland. This is going to wrap up episode 1, which is just to cover kind of getting started, getting through Haven. I appreciate you guys watching. If you made it this far, drop a like, maybe subscribe. Appreciate you guys. I will see you soon in episode 2, where we are going to get our bearings around Myrland. We're going to start tasking around Myrland in order to get clayed, and we are going to start building wealth on this character, and more importantly, getting our skills in order. Next episode is going to start with us figuring out what skills we want, what skills to look for, what books to buy to get us there, and how to start progressing. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you all, and I will see you in the next episode.